We all know that an ache or an injury is never fun. And part of your goal is probably to get rid of as many of those issues as you can. As I mentioned in the book, though, we're not trying to make ourselves perfect so that nothing ever happens, because that is impossible. In the real world we live in, sometimes someone might run into you with their car. You might trip over a Lego and twist your ankle. Random stuff might happen. Sometimes you might train a little too hard or move not quite the right way and you tweak something. We're going to try to be as resilient and resistant to that as we can, but it pays to know some things you can do after something like that happens. As I mentioned in the book, small, slow, gentle movements can be a great way to start to reintroduce signals to your tissues that help you then start to create the response of healing that you want. So let's do an example. Let's say you've had some neck pain for a while and you've been doing the stretches till the cows come home and it's not making any difference. What we can do is find the area that we feel the discomfort. Maybe it's right here. And instead of just stretching it, we can create a light stretch to start, but then use what's called a positional isometric and contract the tissue that we're stretching. So if I feel some stretch right here, and that creates a bit of mild relief for the area, I'll hold that for 30 seconds. Then I'll create some light tension here, maybe 30% of my total ability, of trying to contract that tissue to bring my head back while this hand resists it. So it'll look like this. As you can see, it looks like nothing's happening because it's an isometric movement, but these are contracting. I'm trying to push my head back the way it came from. This is meeting the resistance. And I might do that for 10 seconds and then relax. And maybe I can go a little further into my stretch, or maybe change the angle or line of tension on that tissue just a little bit, and then hold there. And then I might try it again to press my head into my hand to contract these tissues here. Hold for 10 seconds, and then relax. That's one simple option. Let's stay with the neck as this example. Let's say that when you turn your head this way, it hurts. You get to here, and you're like, I don't want to go any further. Definitely don't go any further. We don't want to push into pain. And we don't want to teach our brain that it should associate pain with that motion. But what you can do is turn your head towards that position, stop before you get to the painful point, and then turn your head all the way the other direction. Bring your head back, turn it all the way the other direction. Maybe you go up to that point and explore what tipping your head from side to side does for you. Maybe you go to that point and nod and see what that does for you. Remember, different signals create different responses. Things that can look so similar have just enough difference that they might create something useful for your body to start getting towards that point of recovery that is perfect for what you need. Next, let's take a look at something like the knees. Maybe your knee hurts a little bit, or it feels just kind of strainy and not so good, or you have an old injury that you feel like you never recovered from. Again, after you've cleared yourself with your doctor, you're sure you don't have pain that concerns you, and you're taking on your plan. These are some things you might consider exploring with your knee to find those low-level, gentle movements that may work for you. Remember, the key here is, does it work for you? The key is not do these 5 exercises. It's explore, explore, explore. Experiment, experiment, experiment. Curate and find the ones that work for you. Work for you meaning it doesn't exacerbate pain. There's no pinching. There's no bad sensations, like you can feel that it's a bad sensation. And it feels safe for you, because mentally it has to feel like, I feel okay doing this, in order for your body to really get the most out of it. So let's imagine we've got some knee pain. The first thing you might start with is, how does it feel when I move it? Okay, let's imagine it doesn't feel so good out here, but it feels really good back here. Okay, well maybe I'll do a bunch of this today and just work it through its range of motion like that. And if it starts to feel a little better to go a little further, I'll go a little further. do? Let's extend the leg out. How does it feel to squeeze everything in my leg? That feels fine. Okay, cool, I could do that. Put that on the list of things I could do. Okay, how does it feel to curl my toes? Okay, that feels fine. Cool, another one I can do. Okay, what about how does it feel to take my ankle and flex it up as high as I can? Feels good. Okay, so far so good. That's pretty cool. What if I took my leg and held it and said, what about when I point my toe downward? Weirdly, something doesn't feel good there. Okay. If that doesn't feel good, we'll say, we're going to skip that one for right now. You could put your foot on the ground and try to move your ankle in and out, inversion and eversion. If you do that, you're like, I can do that a little, but not a lot. I wouldn't want to really rock it around like I'm doing here. A little bit would be good. Okay, cool. I could do a little bit. I'll keep it nice and slow and controlled. Great, that's on the list. Okay, I've just gone through several things to find, wow, some movements that I can do. And as I taught you in the book, it's so important to find what you can do, because not only does it help with signals and responses, it also helps mentally. It helps you feel like you're in control, like you are moving forward, and like you have things you can do. It also helps you feel like I'm not frail. I might be injured right now, but I'm not frail. And I can find things I can do, and I can get back to where I want to go. Okay, you can do this, really you can, with any part of your body. Muscles, joints, positions that don't feel good, injuries that are super old that you feel like you're stuck with. Start exploring low-level, gentle movements that feel safe, pain-free, and without any bad sensation in them. And then do them a lot, because that is a signal to your body that nets you so many responses that are going to move you in a positive direction.